Mr. Speaker.
Rino Tirikatene.
Kororia hareruia kia ihoa ngā mano matuatama Wairoa tapu me haka honore ki ngā nehera pono ma te māngai hei tautoko mai ai nei ake nei ai. Tēnā koutou oku rangatira. Tēnā koutou ngā iwi ngā hapū o te rohe o te Wairoa. Tēnā koutou takitimu waka. Rongo mai wahine. Tēnā koutou Ngāti Kahungunu. Aku whanaunga o Ngāti Pāhauera. Tēnei e tuatu nei e mihi atu kia koutou. Nau mai whakatau mai ki te whare pāremata i takatū nei. Nau mai whakatau mai ki tēnei rā whakahirahira. I tēnei rā te pānuitanga tuatoru o tēnei pire. Ai, ka huri tū me mihi atu kia rātou ko whetu rangitia. Me mihi maumahara kia rātou. Ai, ngā mate huhua te wā, haere ngā mate āpiti hono, tātai hono, ko te hunga Wairoa ki te hunga Wairoa, āpiti hono, tātai hono, ko tātou te kanohi ore e tau nei kia tātou, tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou katoa. Madam Speaker, it is a great honour for me to stand in tautoko in support of this bill for our manuhiri, our illustrious manuhiri who have travelled from far and wide to be here on this auspicious occasion. The Iwi and Hapū of te Rohe o te Wairoa, ma'am. And ma'am, we're in the language of treaty settlements these days, they use the term large natural groupings. And ma'am, this is a very large natural grouping that we have here assembled in our whare today. I don't have the time, ma'am, to actually acknowledge all of the whakapapa, the hapū that comprise this wonderful group of our manuhiri and our honoured guests today. Suffice to say, ma'am, that the kāhui that make up ngā iwi and ngā hapū o te rohe o te Wairoa are all here today, and I want to just acknowledge them all. And so I will acknowledge, and I mihi tū, Ngāti Rākai Pāka. I mihi tū, and I acknowledge ngā tokorima hine manuhiri. And I want to acknowledge and mihi tū rongo mai wahine iwi ngai te rā katoa. And I also want to do a double mihi to te Wairoa tapo kōrau. Tuatahi me te tuarua. And I want to mihi to the Wairoa Waikare Moana Māori Trust Board. And I want to mihi to Whakaki Nui Arua. Now, ma'am, those kāhui clusters comprise ngā iwi me ngā hapū o te rohe o te Wairoa. And I do know that behind and making up all of those clusters are the very many hapū and whānau that are all represented here by the descendants of all those illustrious ancestors. And can I acknowledge our matua that gave a beautiful whai kōrero in the mihi whakatau this morning, because it is all about those connections, ma'am. The connections that we have, that's what makes us that's what makes us Māori, is our whakapapa. And I do want to acknowledge not only the whakapapa of our manuhiri today, but also the connections that were made from all of us, right throughout this house, right across the motu. As acknowledged by my whanaunga, Tū Haunuku, we're takitimu waka down in the south. We believe there's a waka down there in the deep takitimus, and so there is a lot of connections that we do have, and so I do want to just acknowledge that all today. Ma'am, this is such a special day. We are at the end of this very long journey. Can I acknowledge the negotiators and all of those rangatira that have worked so hard over the years to get us to this point. From Te Tira through to now tātou, and so I want to acknowledge all the work that they did, and also from all sides that were involved in this work. It is not easy. It's a long, arduous task, but I think they can be very proud of their efforts, because especially with such a large natural group, to have such a large group together and the way that they have been able to forge together through this process, is quite remarkable. So I want to acknowledge the former Minister, Mr Honourable Chris Finlayson, Mr Little, Honourable Andrew Little, for their work as well in holding up the Crown side on these very special matters. Ma'am, we've heard both the Minister and Mr Korako talk about the history, and we must never forget, and that's why we do have the historical record and the acknowledgements from the Crown and their apologies for the breaches of Te Tiriti o Waitangi that were inflicted upon our manuhiri, the Iwi and Hapū, o te Rohe o te Wairoa. And as has been spoken, ma'am, it's all about, and I think I say this, it is the core of every treaty settlement in this House. It is the loss of land and the resulting loss of mana and all of the resulting impacts that it has on the whānau and the hapū. And that was no more evident than, as has been mentioned, through the 1860s, when we heard terms of just the dubious purchases, acquisitions, transactions, surveyors, all of those actions that took place during those times ultimately led to tremendous loss of land, a tremendous loss of ancestral lands, and huge impacts on our manuhiri today, ma'am. So we must acknowledge that, and I'm pleased that every treaty settlement maintains the historical record up front. Ma'am, I want to just lastly, again, I want to acknowledge the manuhiri, because today I saw a gentleman, Mr Enoka Munro from Whakaki, and ma'am, he's an inspiration to me, and I pay acknowledgement to him and his late wife, Auntie Dori, no Ngaitahu. And I remember a discussion that I had when I was running for this house down in Blenheim, where Uncle and Auntie were living. And he was talking to me about these great eels that they have in Whakaki. And I know I said in my second reading that I want to, when Matua Shane reopens that railway line from Wairoa to Gisborne, we're going to bring out the Ratana band and we're going to have a feed of eels. So, and I was delighted to be able to see Matua Enoka here today to witness this occasion. And so, mihi tonu atu ki a koe e te rangatira. And so, ma'am, that's what these settlements are all about. It's about reaffirming, not only reaffirming the indigeneity that we have to our ancestral landscapes, which will be through all the different settlement measures and redress mechanisms that are in place in these bills. And that's what it's all about. It's about our mahinga kai. It's about all of those, te taiao, the environment, our landmarks, the associations, that historical names, all of those things. That's what these settlements are all about. And I know that there's going to be a big feed of eels for me one day when I get up to Whakaki And I certainly hope I can enjoy some with Matua Enoka there. So with those remarks, ma'am, can I just once again acknowledge our manuhiri on this very auspicious occasion. Congratulations, and I wish them all the very best. Nō reira, tēnā koutou, kia ora tātou katoa.
I call the
Madam Speaker.
I call the Honourable Chris Finlayson.
Madam Speaker, it's always good to follow